I said it before and I'll say it again. One of the best times to go thrift shopping is at the end of the year, beginning of the year. People are getting rid of their stuff after the holidays for the new year, and I'm going to share with you some of my recent finds. Now, I always go for the china section first. And, I make jewelry out of broken vintage china. I find a lot of pieces at thrift stores. And I also love to look for tiles and trivets. And this was a really cool reproduction Delft tile that I found. It's more like to hang on your wall. I like to put them behind my stove up against the wall, like where your backsplash would be. And I like to keep a little line of plates there. And I keep trivets there too. This one is also really pretty. That's like a terracotta Italian tile. And I think a lot of these people bring home as souvenirs from traveling, or maybe they get them as gifts. Maybe other people bring them for them. No matter what, that's hand painted and it's really pretty. Now, this is a modern one. Somebody probably bought it at Macy's or TJ Maxx or something or got it as a gift and didn't like it. And like I say, I cook a lot, like a lot of trivets, and that one looks really cute in my line of those behind my stove. These green and white plates really caught my eye, and they're from probably about the 60s or 70s, and the daisy flower power motif, they're kind of retro, they're pretty cool, and I picked up a couple of those for about maybe 50 cents each. They actually have a pretty detailed pattern around the daisies around the rim. It's like very, very tiny dots and circles, and they're actually really pretty. Now this next set of dishes really caught my eye. Anything with a bright floral, especially if it has purple, that's a little unusual for older plates. And this is a really, really beautiful pansy pattern. And I think I got 4 plates and 4 saucers. They're yellow, purple, green, and white, and they're just in perfect condition. At least the pattern is. Some of them have little chips here and there, but there's no maker's mark on it. I have no idea who made them, where they came from, but they're going into my collection and will probably turn into some jewelry as well. And there were saucers. That's all that they had. I didn't see any teacups at the shop. These pieces get split up over the years, but what a pretty pattern. Next, I came across 3 or 4 of these antique porcelain plates. I think they're from Austria or Poland, and they are a pink rose, which I love, and there's a little bit of a lavender kind of motif or background color behind the roses, and they're so pretty. They make beautiful pieces of jewelry. They're beautiful as tea plates. I keep fancy ones in my cabinet. Even when we make brownies at home from a box mix, we eat them off really pretty china. This next piece that I found is a big platter, and I usually don't go for platters because I have plenty of them, and they're kind of heavy. They're not really good for jewelry making, but it was a really pretty pattern. I think it's probably from, I don't know, maybe the 1950s. Now, these I love. These German pieces caught my eye and I went right to them. There were a whole bunch of different ones at a thrift store about a month or 2 ago, and there were a lot that were cracked and broken. I picked out some favorites. These were a few dollars each, and they're hand painted. Beautiful example of folk art, probably souvenir pieces. They are stamped. You can see there's a back stamp on that piece, and you see the 2 holes at the top. That's where like a piece of metal or leather would have been inserted to hang them on a wall. And I guess as the years go by, that came off or got pulled off or whatever. But I love these. Now, I wouldn't use these with food because you don't know if there's lead in the glaze, so they're more for decoration. Sometimes I'll put them under my plants if they have chips on them. Again, these are stamped Germany on the reverse side, and they look like they're terracotta, some kind of pottery, and hand painted in just different pretty patterns. Each one I love for, just the difference of how it's different from the next one and its own unique individual design. And this bowl has like a tree motif. I guess it's like a pine tree motif. So pretty. And a close-up so you can see that. You'd almost call that brushstroke painting. Great vibrant colors, and I know they're not brand new, so they were kept in pretty good condition. And here's a pretty blue one that has a floral or tulip motif. I like to keep the bowls around, and I use them, just here and there to store little things. I did a video recently about folk art painting on acorns, and in that video I used this bowl. And if you haven't seen that and you want to learn how to make those, you should check that out because that's a fun video. But they're great for just storing little things around your house. So I'd say those were definitely one of my best finds from 2021, along with these. Now this was a big surprise, and I go to the thrift store, and some thrift stores will have places where you can find craft items. A lot of times you'll find knitting needles, balls of yarn, half-finished needle point kits that were never started, and I found these scrapbook paper books, and these are expensive. If you do any kind of paper or scrapbooking stuff, these are like $20 a pop for the big ones. And I couldn't believe it when I found these. There was a huge thing of them. I went through them and just grabbed a pile, and they were like $1.99 each. And at the craft store, they're expensive. And you can make cards out of them. You can do all kinds of crafts. This alternating skull and skeleton design is really cool. And the black ravens. This is obviously a Halloween pad. And what fun to play with. Now, most of the other ones are florals. There's ones that are vintage that look like they're tea stained or, not textured, but kind of embossed. And there's metal ones. This I'm showing you, that was $20 and I got it for $1.99. So what a steal. Now, these are single-sided. There, I do have a couple books that I found that were double-sided. What do you do with them? Imagine it like lining your drawers with them. They're so pretty. There's one I already cut. I made a card out of it. But, they're so beautiful, and you can do all kinds of cool crafts. As a matter of fact, I have a video that I'm working on now, and I'm going to be using some of these papers in that craft video. So you'll get to see how we use some of these. Here, I just flipped through this quick. Again, I can't get over the price. I'm like pointing at the stickers. It was $20. I got it for $1 or $1.99. So tell me, what would you do with this paper? Do you use these kind of art supplies, craft supplies? What do you do with them? I'd love to know. Leave me a comment down below and let me know how you use them at home. Again, more vintage papers, and that about wraps up this video. I have another thrift haul video for the new year coming up, as well as that craft that I mentioned earlier. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the little bell next to the subscribe button so you can get notified when I release a new video. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.